I was once a pesky, scrambly chicken who wanted to be a wise old owl. Who wouldn't want to go from being a chicken to an owl? That's what we're going to talk about today in Time for Books at loopsticking.com. I'm Yvonne DeVita, and we are going to complete our video book review of Design the Life You Love by Iris Purcell. And we're going to do that by continuing on with some metaphors. Last week, she asked us to compare our life to a metaphor, and I chose a cookbook. I chose a cookbook because I really like cooking now. Don't tell anybody about that because I have never been a very good cook, and it's exciting to me to understand that I can take a recipe and change it or alter it or make it my own. And that's what I want to do with my life. I want to make it my own. I don't want it to be a carbon copy of what other people do. I want it to be a cookbook where there are a million ingredients and that I can put them together in any way that I like. And if they don't come out properly, if they don't taste as good as they should, I can figure out what went wrong and fix it. So here in Design the Life You Love, continuing with metaphors, Iris tells us that we need to pick a metaphor for today and a metaphor for the future. So moving on from the cookbook into another way to look at our lives and how to build or design the life you love. She advises us to write about your metaphor and draw it, or draw it first and then write about what you drew. The more detail, the better. These will provide you with hooks to help you define your life. She compared hers to climbing Mount Everest. My life metaphor is climbing Mount Everest, which makes me realize that I need Sherpas, guides, mentors, as well as team members along the way. And she goes on to talk about that. Then she tells us to take time to write and draw your metaphor. And guess what? I did it. I did the homework. Did you? Do you have the book? This is what I created for my chicken and my owl. And let me just give you a little bit of this. She wants us to put them side by side and talk about how we're going to get where we want to be. But, you know, my chicken was just a pecky little creature pecking at crumbs that people threw to her. She was confined by a barrier. Even though it was a bit blurred, it was still there. It was concrete. She couldn't get by it. But I, as that chicken, wanted to get by that barrier. I want to take control of my life. I don't want to wander here and there, consuming various crumbs just to stay alive. My heart and soul wants to soar free. That's where I got the wise old owl from. And I wrote down this. In the future, I will be an owl. I will be wise. I will control my life matter-of-factly. It will just be my life. This is my life. This is the way I want it to be. I won't have to think about it. Others will come to me for training and advice, and I will not be constrained by barriers. There's your key. I will not be constrained by barriers. I will not let things hold me back like when I was a chicken. So Iris goes on, and she wants us then to write down how we're going to get, but before we write down how we're going to get from one to the other, we have to go back to the words that matter in our lives, the kinds of things that are important to us. And she says, write down 15 or 20 things, words of things that matter. Here are my words: love, connection, education, family, friends, animals, books, dreams, writing, reading, sharing, cooking, teaching, health, spirit, freedom, and security. Security is important to me also. I don't do well when I'm not secure in my life. But I do know that to make that security is up to me. It's not up to someone else. A wise old owl doesn't wait for someone to throw food at it, like a chicken does. So she then says in beginning then to reconstruct, getting from here to there. So how am I going to get from the chicken to the owl? And I had to think a long time about this. I mean, did I or had I chosen very good metaphors in a chicken and an owl? How would that help me understand and learn how to get my life where I want it to be, how to design what I want my life to become? How would I get there? I wrote down some ideas. And again, this is an ongoing process. It's not going to stop when we stop the book. It's not going to stop when we finish. Now, we're not going to finish the whole book because today's our last day. But it doesn't stop after that anyway. It's an ongoing thing to design your life because there are a lot of different areas in your life that you will design them differently. Well, for this is designing the life, and I'm encompassing business and work because we talked about how work is play, and there's no way to separate me, the writer and trainer and educator and a big idea facilitator at Lipsticking, from the me who likes to cook and visit with family and walk the dog. They're all the same person. So how am I going to get from chicken to owl? Here's what I wrote down. Maybe I should stop thinking like a chicken and embrace owl qualities. I had to think about that also. I had to be wise about my life choices. I have to choose the right place to fly, aka work. So it isn't just, by the way, the office. Office is very important to me. Mine's a little empty now because we're still waiting to move to New York. And that's what I'm talking about. When I get to New York, I'm going to settle in. That's going to be me, my life, my family, my grandkids. And that's how I'm going to fly. I have to gather my insight and my experiences and put them into shareable content. That's what it's about, sharing content and ideas and experiences and things that I know work with you. I have to be flexible with my time and make time for me. That's one of the things that I'm learning to do. Don't allow life to confine me. Don't allow people to confine me. Don't allow anyone to put the barriers around me and say, this is your box, you have to stay in it. I don't do well. That's why I don't like to think outside of the box, because it's like, where's the box? I don't want to be in the box. I'm already outside of the box. So, and the last thing I wrote was build on my creative self. You're as creative as anyone else. Don't ever think you're not. Creativity is a human quality that we all have, and we have it in different ways. No one is the same creatively as someone else. Even when you're a writer or a painter or any kind of creative endeavor, what you do is different than what someone else does. The picture behind me, it was done by Tom at a blog post conference, and I love it. I think it's just one of the most wonderful things. There's probably no way I could have created that. I'm not good with putting colors together. I'm good with putting words together, and that's my creative self. So I'm going to leave you with the end of this book, Design the Life You Love, and I'm going to tell you that the reconstruction part The other half of the book, by the way, see, it's the other half of the book, is up to you. She's got 3 circles. And she tells us reconstruction is about putting it back together. Let's think back to our soup example for a second. Remember choosing tofu over chicken, freezing it and putting it on a stick. These choices led us to design a soup pot, a brand new space soup. Now you get to choose what you want in your life, what to keep, what to leave out, and what to change. Your choices will determine the kind of life you are designing. And reconstruction is about making choices. And let's be frank, you can't have everything. That's why your reconstruction map has only 3 circles, representing a small, manageable number of choices. What you choose to put in these circles becomes the backbone of your design. Get to work, finish the book, finish designing the life you love, and join us in April for a really awesome book called Fortune is in the Failure by Katie Myers. I think I might have Katie on the show. We'll see. Bye for now.